we as MCAs, we presented our issues to BBI task force during the county roundup and some through our county assembly forum. We normally call them CAF, but it's like it was overlooked by BBI drafters. I've had our officials are meeting the executive and the drafters, who is the president also, and I don't think why we should be meeting Raila, because this document is not about parties and personalities, but all the same MPs and governors, they have been addressed, and it is now our turn for, we also want assurance and satisfaction. But let us turn to what we also want to say, that it is an assurance and satisfaction, because at the end of it, what is amended should be put in practice. And we are saying in BBI, we have to amend grey areas before we pass it. You know, this document is for posterity, and it is for the future generations. So let us not squander this opportunity, and also let us not narrow this issue of BBI to 2022 elections. If we mean what we wanted to do, or if we mean what we can have, we must say that we are looking for an anti-divisive referendum. Because we as MCAs, we want to know what is in for us and what is in for our people. Because we are just fully concerned with devolution, because we are on the grassroots. And given that is we who are always with the people, we believe all stakeholders can still be listened to with their issues, and because they also want to be incorporated as we go to improve the BBI before Parliament and before it's taken to referendum, so that we must understand what we are approving. There are some issues that we can be looking at as members of County Assembly, like maybe we will be told how Ward Fund is anchored in BBI, and how it will be raised from 5% to 30%, and how it will be dispersed to counties, because we are looking at a scenario whereby we should be handled without roadblocks from the executive and governors. Currently, the disbursement has been having problems, because this is where electorates are expecting devolved services. The document should give clarity of the money allocated and its management, because we are looking on equity and the distribution of developments in the world. There is also just on what is happening at the national level, the national government. We want BBI to allow also MCAs, or who are the members of County Assembly, to be ministers of the county government on the proposal of 50-50 from within and without assembly, basing on what I'm calling gender and inclusivity. We want enhanced oversight roles similar to that of MPs on the ground, because we as MCAs, we are in charge of huge development budgets at the grassroots level. Maybe just a few also to name. There are other elected positions that are pensionable after 2 terms, like the MPs, the governors, the deputy president, and the president itself. We also want, as members of county assemblies, to have pension after service. For most of the MCAs living miserable life after office, maybe on retirement, or maybe after being defeated, or if they could not recapture their seats. So we want them to have a decent life, because they have been leading people and they don't want to see them in poverty. The main thing for devolution, where a member of county assembly is concerned, we want to look for a consensus, whereby we want to strengthen the Senate so that it addresses devolution with authority. You know, everything is put at paperwork, but it's obvious we must put it in practice by law on how they will be implemented. Because if we don't give mandate to the Senate and we give it to any other body, we think we will be shortchanged, more so to the parliament or maybe to the executive. We don't want to operate at the whim of any arm of government that can shortchange us at a later date or at a later stage. And also BBI should review even MCA salaries, because it should also mirror to the formula used in determining MP salaries, because they are also elected. It's only that they serve a small area of jurisdiction, but everything is done on the same level. And maybe there is something I've noticed, that members of Western who are in leadership, you can see other groupings like the pastoralists, the Mount Kenya people, the churches. They are coming together to voice or to look into how BBI can be nourished to suit their interests. But coming to Western part of this country, leaders are just contented with the 35% that has been enshrined in BBI on allocation on devolution. They are not talking about sugarcane, they are not talking about food production, they are just quiet. After this BBI is when you will find them talking how they can assist people or farmers in sugarcane on terms. And you see, this is a document where everybody is fighting to be included in so that it can cushion them for their lifeline. So Western leaders, you are a big letdown, and we are looking at you as a people's representative. So can you wake up? Can you wake up? Group yourself, show leadership through BBI. And I want to caution some leaders in this country, the sake of Mbadi. They should take their dictatorship to parliamentarians where they lead. We as members of county assemblies, we have our own issues, we have our own leadership, and we can sort out our issues with BBI drafters, and we are not MPs. So if he wants to talk anything that is really putting pressure on people or in any sort of grouping, let him direct it to the members of parliament. And looking at what is happening with the BBI report, you know, it looks like this BBI report belongs to Raila. He is all over the place trying to convince everybody. We should detach this BBI from 2022 elections. Let us move away from the scenarios where politicians meet Raila in a few minutes, then all of a sudden they give press conferences that they are supporting BBI. That is being egocentric, and it is not solving Kenyan problem. So let us be vigilant for divisive kind of referendum, and let us hold together for peace and the prosperity of this country through BBI.